Have you ever faced a moment where you felt completely helpless? Where your resources ran out, your strength was gone, and hope seemed impossible? This is the story of a woman who had nothing left, but discovered that with God, even the little you have can become more than enough. In a small home in ancient Israel, the widow clutches her two sons. The shadows are heavy, the air tense. Her husband, a faithful servant of the Lord, had died, and now, with no income, her debts grew larger each day. The cruel reality? The creditors were coming to take her sons as slaves. She had no money, no food, no protection. Only a small clay jar of oil, so small it seemed useless. In her desperation, the widow ran to Elisha, the prophet of God. The widow approaches Elisha, her face full of grief and fear. The widow pleading,
"My husband served the Lord, but now he is gone, and the creditors are coming to take my children away. What can I do?"
Elisha looked at her with compassion.
What do you have in your house?
The widow lowered her eyes, ashamed.
"Nothing, except a little oil."
Elisha gave her an instruction that sounded almost impossible. The widow listens intently, though uncertain.
Go to your neighbors. Borrow as many empty jars as you can. Don't just gather a few. Then, go inside your house with your sons, shut the door behind you, and begin to pour your oil into the jars.
The widow and her sons rushing through the village, knocking on doors. Neighbors hand over jars, big, small, cracked, and new. It must have sounded strange, one little jar filling many, but she obeyed in faith. The widow's house, jars lined up across the floor. The sons watched closely as their mother lifts the tiny jar. With trembling hands, she tipped the small jar. Oil begins to flow and keeps flowing. It pours smoothly, filling the first jar, then another, then another. The oil did not stop. Jar after jar filled to the brim. The sons scrambled to bring more jars, their eyes wide with amazement. Laughter and joy replaced fear as the little jar kept pouring, an endless stream of provision. Finally, the widow, excited, breathless, called out,
"Bring me another jar."
But her son replied,
"There are no more jars."
And at that moment, the oil stopped flowing. The widow standing in awe, surrounded by jars filled with oil. Her sons embrace her with relief and joy. The once empty house now overflowed with God's abundance. The widow hurried back to Elisha.
"The jars are full, every single one."
Elisha smiled and said,
Go, sell the oil, pay your debts, and you and your sons live on what is left.
From nothing, God brought abundance. From despair, He gave freedom. This miracle reminds us, whatever little you have, your faith, your time, your gifts, God can use it and multiply it. When your jar feels empty, trust the one who fills it. This is the miracle of the widow's oil. If you were blessed by the story, subscribe to Stories of Grace and discover more parables and miracles that show the power of God's love.